have included just us, the loose that's with it.
The loose that's with it? I don't have a loose.
Okay, it's in your, it's where, John, it's on the.
This is it right here?
Yes,
I brought that.
it's in there, trust me. It's somewhere.
Last word.
Did you
Oh, here
hear
it is.
from, our secretary?
I just know that she's in the hospital.
Who is?
Ellen, she has been dehydration. So she won't be here today.
I heard that. When did all this take place?
I guess
Well, they
over the
were in
weekend.
church.
Well, they said George and Ellen were sick this weekend. But
I thought
see
it had to
George-
do with
Yeah.
the roof.
I saw George
Yeah,
yesterday.
she was kinda down to get along, I think. Yeah, George has been coming in, Uncle's and getting his breakfast every morning.
No, I was just looking around.
Well, I think our neighbor next door has been, our investment in her is paying off well, sounds like.
At Susan's?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sounds like she's really doing good.
She is really, and you'll see that she wants more, but it's not us. We don't have to pay for it. So, good thing.
You mean the door?
She wants a door.
I thought that was gonna be
You
Dan.
know, I asked her about that the other day, and she didn't know anything about it. And I said, well, I thought I saw an email that you needed another door. She said, no, I think it must be for the closet or something, or the beauty parlor.
No, she's wrong. She wants a door. She wants a doorway, maybe, not a door. Maybe it has to be a doorway.
Into what was gonna be Dan's office.
Right, into that
And I
little,
don't know why it's gonna help, because she's gonna have to do away with at least one table, maybe both tables there.
well, I think what she's, well, we'll get to that.
Okay.
I mean, that's part of the deal, so. Y'all wanna go ahead and get it started?
Let's start with prayer. Heavenly Father, we give thanks today. We thank you for all the blessings we have in this life. Heavenly Father, we ask you to be with us and guide us as we go through this meeting. Heavenly Father, we ask you to bless this food and bless our bodies. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Okay, I had a deal here, but I have lost it. Oh, here it is. And I'm not, open forum. Do we have anything that anybody wants to discuss?
I think we just did.
Well, we can
I make a
continue.
motion to adjourn.
Yes, again.
That's a pretty good idea.
No, we got
We
things.
need
Y'all got
to
to
discuss
decide.
good ideas, don't we?
I'm telling you.
Y'all got to decide some stuff before y'all adjourn.
This week, February,
In
or
March,
March?
it's March. We're under March.
Yes, ma'am, yes, yes, ma'am.
Hey, well, we don't have the lake on here, do we?
No.
Okay, we're in open forum.
What,
I ain't heard anything on my end, I don't know anything about my
Have
situation.
you heard any more that after you talked to, what was that, representative?
no, I haven't heard anything else on it. I keep seeing a lot of things in the paper talking about, everybody wants stuff that's on the horizon is, reservoirs and water problems.
You know what,
There's some trash over here.
I need to go get some more
Thank you.
coffee anyway. I'll kick yours over here.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, what I've heard is, what's happening up there at Albany called Cedar Ridge, or, I hear them mention that every once in a while on the news.
I haven't heard anything else other than, like I said, just what's in the paper and things like that, so.
I think funding seems to be the big thing.
I guess we talked to everybody that we could talk to.
Anybody need any more
Maybe
coffee?
have some influence. I know when we were in Austin.
Do y'all want
I
more?
think
Y'all
y'all
need
need
more
coffee.
coffee?
Our state rep, no.
They're fine.
We're good.
Okay.
Sorry, there's one.
Oh, we talked to our state rep, Gary and David Kirk in Austin, what's that, about a month ago now.
Yep.
You know, water's an important deal, they'll look into it. Yeah.
They don't know how important it is out here, do they?
But I think even the cities don't realize the importance of it, because, I mean, we're so used to just turning on the faucet and getting whatever we need.
Well,
It'll come to
If it doesn't rain pretty soon, and, I mean, I understand cities talking that we may be going to stage 4 in about a month.
Mhm.
If we do that, that cuts off all stock water, all outside watering, everything. So, if we're there, these other towns have gotta be not far behind.
True.
So-
Throckmorton's already talking about they were pretty dry last year, last month when I talked to some of them, they're getting theirs from Graham.
Yeah.
So, and somebody was saying they were even hauling some in somewhere around here.
Well, I went across Hubbard a couple weeks ago, and I've never seen it. Of course, I don't go that way often, but that sucker is sad looking.
Where'd you go?
Hubbard.
Hubbard.
Yeah, it's like 18 feet in there, so.
I mean, you can just look across there and there's islands out in that thing, and I've never seen it.
Has the water backed up underneath the bridge?
It's still water under the bridge,
Just barely though.
barely.
You know, we've got that shale oil drilling that everybody's talking about. And I hear that those oil wells gonna take like 1 million
Yeah.
barrels of water to drill. And they're planning on drilling a bunch.
Yeah, see, that's been my question all along, where you guys gonna get this water? But we're doing stuff, I don't know if y'all, well, I know if you've been to Stanford, they're right there on the highway, just after you cross the bridge, just before you cross in out of Stonewall County, somebody come in there and made a big pit. And they got wells and stuff. Well, you go down there and go south out of Sagerton, get back down in there, there's a little creek about 4 miles down there. They've done the same thing down there. Got one of those pits that they've got. I know the other night we come in from Abilene, probably 10 o'clock we come by there. It was 3 or 4 trucks out there filling up in.
Yeah, Roland rigged up on his Bill's place there. He's selling water.
Well, they took 3 up there dry up there, Jake trying to haul that water that well up there at, well, they haven't drilled up there at, Buddy Balders just said. He said, I guess Buddy slid down the river somewhere and drilled the well. I guess they finally got the rest of the water. He said that pit up there was 2 football fields, side by side, and 20 foot deep, had 20 foot reservoirs.
It's about like
They said
both these pits out here. I
Said
mean,
they
they're
hauled
probably
that
not
thing for
that.
about a week,
quite
was
that-
thinking about that much water from bottom.
Probably not quite that big, but they're
They're gonna be sucking the water out of the ground.
No, we're gonna have the sinkholes.
Do we have any other open forum that anybody wants to discuss before we get to the minutes? Reading of the minutes?
Did
Who's
y'all-
our temporary secretary?
It's me. Did y'all read them?
Yeah.
I didn't, because I got this right here, and then my computer was totally.
Do you want me to start scanning hard copies?
Yeah,
You don't
might as
take
well,
them.
because, I tried to.
You do, because you ride your bike up here now
Yeah,
to get the mail.
but every once in a while.
I don't see it on here.
Till it's
Well, could I kind of, we'll go back to open forum, let's discuss it just a minute.
Oh, okay. We're backing up.
And I got that after I looked at the minutes about me. But on youth sports,
They have not come up with any type of funds, because that's the whole thing, is like, tell us what money you need, and they have not reapproached anybody. They're supposed to be working on it stuff, but when I ask for figures, nobody gives us anything to say, this is how much money we need.
we talked about, we're gonna maybe have it on.
Right.
So they hadn't got around.
They've had meetings, and they've talked about it, but
I thought
I've
they were gonna
never,
have to really get on this quick because they had to have something done this month.
well, they do, they're working on the field last weekend, they're working on it again this weekend. They had fundraisers, they had like $700 out of this fundraiser, this cake sale they had last week. They had a burrito sale Saturday, or breakfast sale Saturday. They're gonna have another one at the end of this month before Easter.
Well, the county managed to, by designating them as one of the recipients on the grant
center, cause We Care is ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But they just haven't, you know, I've asked Connie's the treasurer, and I've asked her, and
well,
never come up
Lana
with
come
any
in and talked
figures.
to me after we talked to her,
That's what they hadn't had
And
time.
they were ready to go as soon as, felt like, and so the county, we haven't done our part. She asked about the city. I told her I didn't know.
Well, it may not need the city, I mean, you
Well, I
know,
think the city is gonna maintain it, they agreed to maintain it and mow it and stuff like that.
So, but anyway, that's what we've managed to, direct in your direction from the council, $27.50, so.
good deal.
But anyhow, I had expected to see them on the agenda this time, and it wasn't. I thought I'd just ask if you heard them.
No, I've asked 2 or 3 times.
Thank you for following through with it.
All right, that's it.
Okay, let's go to the minutes for February.
Okay, members present, Leslie, Mary, John Dane, Gary, Ronnie, Cecily, and Director Marcus. Members present, absent were Ellen Abernathy, guests present were Melinda Rhymes, Connie Mullen, and Stephanie Mullen. Meeting was called to order by Mary Everett at 7:45, invocation was given by Mary. Connie Mullen, treasurer of the Stonewall County Youth Sports Association, discussed possible financial assistance from the EDC. The youth sports has to upgrade the playing field, plus the concession stand, backstop, and restrooms are in need of repair. The youth sports will be meeting to discuss the expense of these items. If the youth sports does not fix some of the problems at the field, they will not be included in the Quad County Baseball League. The board tabled any contribution until an amount needed could be established by the youth sports. Also, the city of Aspermont, Stonewall County were to be asked about contributions also. Number 2, there were no comments were made during open forum. 3, January 2nd, 2013 were read by M. Jones, motion by John Dungoson to accept the minutes as read. Ronnie Moorhead made the second, motion carried. Financial report was given. Mary Everett asked that the check register be included in the financial report. Gary Myers made the motion to accept the report, seconded by Cecily Heck, motion carried. Director's report was given by M. Jones. No bills had been received for February time of meeting. Martha Jones gave a report on information given to Lieutenant Governor's office and Senator Duncan's office concerning the Double Mountain Fork Reservoir project. This was given on March 5th. That should be February 5th instead of March. When she attended the TMCN Day in Austin. Rent for New Beauty was discussed. Christine Graham is the owner of the New Beauty and will be renting space at 612 South Washington. John Dungoson made a motion to give Christine a 6-month lease, February 2013 through July 13, with rent waived. At the end of July, a new lease will be made and rent will be $100 a month beginning in August. Gary Myers made the second, and motion carried. Roland and Chase Martin would like to move the fence that is around the shed located behind the Kennedy Pharmacy. They would place the fence between their lot and the WKN lot. Part of the fence would stay closer to the shed so the area would remain secure. Ronnie Moorhead made the motion to move the fence, and Mary seconded the motion, and the motion carried. Motion made by Gary Myers to adjourn the meeting. Mary seconded, and motion carried.
We have a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Motion to approve the minutes as amended.
What was that after she changed?
Just
Number
March to
8.
February.
At number 8.
This was good. Supposed to be February.
Somebody had it, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, raise your right hand. Okay.
Has Roland and Chase changed their?
No,
They haven't done anything with it.
I just drove around there to dump newspapers and looked, and they haven't done anything yet.
Did you dump the papers?
I did dump my papers.
Okay, because I didn't unlock that gate.
No, that was yesterday.
Oh, okay, like, I mean, there's no, thank you.
But they hadn't moved it as of yesterday evening, I should have said.
No, I think it's, been too windy, too something, who knows?
Okay, let's move on to the director's report.
Financials next.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was trying to skip that. Okay, financial report.
Our electric bill, and that's something on our electricity, I'll be getting with Christine about letting her know she'll be responsible for that electric. She has not moved in, she has some stuff moved in, but she's not even close to being ready. So I don't know.
Any idea when she's gonna?
No, they moved in a lot of stuff that last week or the week before, moving a lot of things, but they haven't done anything. We're in
In our
March.
time, it started, right, or 6 months?
Yes, it started in February.
What? Oh, there we go.
So, anyway, so I'm, she'll be in charge of electricity. And that's about it. I've included also, and it's at the very back of this, how much we've spent on the renovations of New Beauty. Right now, it stands at $4,759.65. That's very, very back, or right before the director's report, I guess, at the back of the financial report.
And the big chunk is the floor covering.
The floor covering, and then the water heater. That 607 from Rollins was the water heater, and that, it was, and then we've had to get some, lumber and stuff from M&C over at Hamlin, so, but it's finished, we've done everything. I mean, she's responsible for painting that new wall and that type of stuff, and that's what's in there.
Is she aware that, the rent, even though they're giving the break on the rent, is already started?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Did we put one of those tankless water heaters in?
No.
No, it's not there.
I think it's a 20 gallon, 10 or 20, it's a serious size one.
No, I'd be a 30 or.
I don't know, it's a good size one.
Gas? No.
No, electric, everything's electric.
It was 607.
Well, that's with, I think the water heater's around 300.
That sounded more in line.
I mean, but we had like electrical stuff, insulation, paint, other stuff that we've had to get through Rollins, and that's just included. But the big thing was the water heater. Again, the labor, but the wall in the bathroom, they put in that, we had a pedestal sink that we'd had from somewhere else that was never used, so he put that in there. And when he opened it, the pedestal part was cracked, was broken, so he glued it back, we painted it, he patched the holes in the bathroom walls. Looks very nice. Anyway, so again, we're low, but that project is finished. And I did include a check register on the also all of it, and that's February and March's. I included February.
Oh, so the utilities is 2 months?
Yes.
I was wondering why it was so high.
Well, the utilities also is part that building and part this building.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran the heater off in there while they were working, and to make sure when it was cold, nothing froze up, because sometimes you have to do that.
And we have had some cold weather.
We've had some cold weather, so, the utilities were high this month, and that's what it is we're paying, but that should drop off a good $300-400.
Okay, and why do we have a refund from them?
We don't know. That's the one I was explaining last month that.
But she's probably gonna have to return.
We probably will, but that's the one that, when we first started the variety store and the drugstore, we had to put down a $400 deposit to turn the electricity on. So we did that. They returned it after we turned off the variety store because we were through and WKN picked it up. So when we turned off the electricity at the drugstore, they sent us another $400. So.
And they may want it back.
They may want it back, but we still have it.
Tell them you lost it.
That's right. Like, well, and I even called about it and said, well, no, we're showing that y'all have a credit. And we sent it to you. It's like, okay. WTU is an interesting company, is all I can tell you. So,
Well, they're high on their rates.
they are.
I tried to change, I did change. My contract had expired, but whoever I was with, I called around. Well, they didn't back up. I mean, they were a lot higher on everything, car washes, barns, everything.
Well, but would that include your line charges and stuff?
Yeah, I tried to
Like
clear out.
we go, with one of these other deals, for that low rate, but then by the time you had
Yep.
ADP's line charges and
Right.
their service charges and everything else.
A long time ago.
Well, I'm gonna skip to that, I wanna get this thing over with. But, here we go.
Okay. Projects were finished this month. Expansion of the kitchen area for the Pony Espresso was completed, and they've been busy. Susan is very appreciative of what all we have done for her and her space and her business, and she's looking forward to continuing running with her business for several years. The building's ready for new beauty. Christine's moved in, or she started moving her stuff in, and hopefully she'll be up and going soon. And I started a fast track new venture class, and this is through the West Texas Innovation Network. The IDC is paid the class registration, which was $700. This is a class on how, if you want to start a business, what all you need to do to start it. You know, who you need to look at, what type of financing you need, what type of research you need to do to make sure your business would even be good. This type of thing. It's going to be a 10-week class, and I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I've learned so much already, but they're talking about we start new businesses, because we're not having industries coming to Aspermont. We have local people wanting to start a business. This way I can help them say, okay, this is a great idea, now let's look at how you're going to finance it, how you're going to do it. So I'm looking at this. And then they're going to offer this off and on through the year. What I would like to do, if we ever do have another new business come in, brand new, that they would be required to take this off, if possible. Because they will learn, yes, this is a good idea, no, it's not, it's going to work, it's not going to work, whatever. But, you know, this type of deal, or ask them, and then provide, and like what the IDC was doing, and nobody took us up on it. We asked Casey Schubert and some other people that had talked about having a business where they would have to pay $250, the IDC would pay the rest. At the completion of it, then they would get reimbursed their $250. You know, where it's like, you know, you're not going to have to pay the whole $700, but then our groups aren't going to have to either, because if they don't have an investment, they're not going to show up. Because
And they'll be required.
They would be
Their
required.
own model.
Well, them have a skin in the game.
Right, and but it's a 10-week every Monday night, and so, you know, and a lot of people just had other things with kids and stuff. You have to really be dedicated in that. Since I don't have kids, I just have Randy. Then this month,
Well, that's one thing to require that on somebody young just starting out, but of course, I don't see some of these old ones that's done had enough, a few businesses once with the test, maybe it's, but some folks changing business or needing a little help and all already know how to operate. I don't know, you can make some exception there on that.
right. I mean, I'm not saying required, but offer that as a incentive. You know, while we loan you money, here's something else to help you with your business, more business skills. You know, not a requirement, because you can't require anybody to do it, but I think it would be something worth offering. This month, our auditor, Becky Roberts, will be coming in Thursday to set up QuickBooks for us. And that's going to be very beneficial, because it will help us with our paperwork, our reports, help her with her audit. We'll see on the bills why that will be helpful. And then today, well, the 21st is, they have a network through the Texas Midwest Network Luncheon over in Hamlin. And I would like to encourage anybody that can come to go. It usually has like a lot of the other towns will either bring part of their board people if they can't come, city councilmen, anybody that's involved in city, just to see what everybody else is doing and have a chance to network with other communities. And if it's just at Hamlin on the 21st.
What time?
It's from like 11:30 to 1:30, right during lunchtime. And anyway, I'll be sending out some more and calling some of y'all, like Mary, if you'd like to go. I think you'd enjoy it. You know, Cecily, other people that would be interested in coming. And then I'm going to be taking 2 days of vacation in March. That's a Friday and a Monday, because I'll have my 3 grandsons. And I'll need that Monday to recuperate from the weekend.
Matter of taking extra. We just sent 2 of them home, right?
See, Randy's gonna be gone. He's working that weekend, so it's me and the boys. So We're gonna eat a lot of hot dogs, I think, that weekend.
Oh, come on.
I know, so, anyway, so that's my report.
How
Do we have to
much
accept
vacation do you
this?
get?
Do we have to vote
I
on
get
this,
2
accept
weeks.
it?
1 week,
It's just
the first 6
Just
months,
information, I would think.
1 week.
But you can take it 2 days at a time like
Or
that.
we
Yeah.
do say, no, we
Yeah.
don't approve it.
Yeah,
Didn't everyone say that?
I don't think you're supposed to take a
Much
Friday.
safer than all that.
or Monday. That's true.
You were asked, I told you.
That is definitely true. I was not asked.
You were not asked.
I would admit that.
Well, I don't guess we have to make a motion to accept her report.
Gave it.
Thank you, Martha.
Okay, let's make a motion not to accept.
Take it back, Mark.
Okay, bills to be paid.
Okay, and that's that next page after the director's report.
I don't have anything past that.
Well, maybe that's why you didn't, I had it.
No.
Oh, there we are.
I knew it.
I have it now.
Okay. And that kind of breaks down everything. Electric bills and stuff, and this is from February. My mileage was high because of that trip to Austin. And we had to buy some paper, and on this, it says supplies from Office Max. I picked up a credit card application from Office Max while I was there. And that would be so much easier if we could just charge stuff through Office Max through the EDC instead of writing checks. Can we do that?
On this, on purchases like that, are we authorized to be tax exempt since we are a?
We can, yes, we do have a tax exempt number, and we can, you know, and that's one thing that they ask for it here,
Alright.
and that we are a nonprofit organization. So normally we do not get taxed, but because I did this on my personal one.
I just wondered if we're taking advantage of that.
We do, we really do try. Lowe's has us on theirs where we can, they don't charge us tax.
Roll and have stuff on all the
I don't know,
supplies we're buying from them.
He can.
He
Yeah,
can,
we
but I don't
should,
think
he
we've
can.
ever done that. We need to look into that.
You know, well, that's just like, let me back up there, like on his bill, $600 and something dollars. If there's tax added to that, on that, that's gonna be about, what, 70, 75?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And it may be already, I don't know, but it might be something.
I think we're taxed, but I'm not sure. I mean, we get the receipts and I really can't.
And you'll have to remind him. You'll have to tell him when you buy it.
Yeah.
Cause like me, I go in and buy stuff for farm.
Mhm.
If I don't tell him, cause they don't, you know,
Yeah.
they don't know. Car wash or.
That's the same way when we're making purchases for the county, each time when we go to check out, we have to tell them, this is tax exempt.
Okay.
And most everybody we do, you know, we deal with, we already have it registered with them.
Right,
But if you don't remind them, it will be charged.
okay. Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. We will do that.
And do they give you a hard time about writing a check?
No, but a lot of it is because I have to have 2 signatures on the check. I don't know how much it is. Ronnie gets really bent out of shape if he has to sign a blank check.
Well, a credit card.
I do that a lot.
Martha and Stephanie make a daily trip on my signature.
So, I mean, that's not
I'm
a
not going to
major
jail with y'all
problem.
now.
But you know, I mean, we could order online if we have the credit card. I mean, it's just a suggestion.
I don't know why it would hurt.
I just hate credit cards floating around. I'm an old time,
Right.
cash on the barrel or.
Okay, I mean, that's fine.
That's just me.
I mean, that was just a suggestion.
But there's
It's
a
up to
whole
y'all.
board here.
Well, like it.
But the
I
thing of
don't
it
know.
is also on this, and that's something else that I've kind of mentioned it to Ronnie, we have to write 2 checks because the EDC and the IDC pay for the supplies, we split it. We need, and that's the other thing is writing 2 checks. Or do I write a check from the IDC to cover half of it, you know, put it into our account, this type of deal. And that's something I'm
You're
gonna.
still gonna have to write 2 checks, right?
Right. But,
pay
see,
them
but that's one thing that I wanna, and I'm gonna talk to Becky tomorrow when she sets up our QuickBooks. Is there any way that we can say from the IDC that they pay us, the EDC, let me phrase that, we pay the EDC X amount of dollars a month for supplies, for utilities, for rent, because they don't pay anything. They split, we don't pay, they don't get any money, we don't get any money from them for utilities.
And they're the ones that have more money?
Yes.
Or we're the ones that?
They have more
They
money.
have more.
They have more, I know. So that's something that we need to think about and talk about to see whether or not they need to, can we do this, where it's easier if we just say,
I think it used to be that way.
well, see, I asked Jimmy and she said they never had it set up, but if they needed, EDC needed money, they'd say IDC, we need money for rent and utilities, and then they pay them X amount of dollars, is what I understand.
This sounds like a bookkeeping nightmare.
It's a hassle, it is a hassle, isn't it? Because you have to think, every time
Yes.
like this was $64, so you come home, come back to the office and you split it. So it's like, it's 4821, I also got a check from the IDC to help cover those supplies.
Do you have a card from IDC?
No, that's why I'm saying if we had it just in the EDC's name, the IDC would say pay $500 for supplies and utilities.
So is the limit on this card gonna be $150?
No, they were asking how much we would charge a month, and I just put $150, it's not gonna be that much, I mean, $64 got us.
No, I mean
to
the
pay-
limit, what's the, a lot of cards have a limit.
Probably, I would almost think 500, that much. I mean, we don't do anything for, say, we just need it for the news, for paper, and that type of thing.
Well, I don't know if they're like Lowe's, but Lowe's, you get a 5% discount if maybe it's over a certain dollar amount. You get a 5% discount if you use their card.
And use their
Yeah.
card.
I mean, we use it, we pay it off as soon as we get it, I mean, that's not a.
I don't know.
That's probably what they have to pay other card companies, something in that neighborhood.
Probably.
Yeah, but you get it, that 5%, if you pay it off in the next 2 months or 3
Well, I
months,
mean,
something like that.
Off your purchase, no, you get it right then,
Right.
but.
So
And
Martha-
I don't have an objection to having a card to Office Max if it would help. Get Ronnie off the hook. On occasion, we need him over there.
I really don't care about Ronnie, we need to ask Ronnie. What you think about
I'd
this?
say so, well, county, you just have to have some pretty strict controls on cards. And yes, you get one card, Martha's got control of it, so if it gets out of hand, we know exactly who to look at.
And would it be easier if we had a flat rate billing to IDC and then we pay for all this stuff, or what would be easier instead of doing it 2 months?
I don't know, I mean, that's just it, that's one thing that I need to really discuss with Becky tomorrow, because that's one thing, because I mean, it's, you have to split everything, or a lot of stuff, but if we can.
Well, we could just hire someone to do IDC.
With the way,
Don't cut my salary, I don't know what to do with IDC.
with the way, Aspermont and our business community's kind of structured around here, most everything that comes up to help businesses comes through EDC. But IDC is sitting here with an income every month too, and not spending it, so if we can get them, if it's all right with our auditor, and they go along with it, seems to me like that would be a way to put some of their money to use, it help at least pay these expenses and have a set amount, and then if something extraordinary comes up that doesn't cover it, then might have a provision where they can make a subsequent payment.
Or we can always use their money for EDC projects, once we get it, figured out and stuff like that. But like you said, it would be helpful even just the $500 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
I
an
understand, for them to spend money on a project, it's some pretty stringent controls that maybe we don't operate on, the reason we end up spending more money than they do.
Right.
So if they could help out with the other end of the business, at least we're putting their money to use.
Right.
So if they go along with it, I'd say, if they go along with just a standard payment every month.
The auditor says we can do it that way.
Yeah.
Does she audit theirs too?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
yes.
she
She
knows.
audits ours and she audits the cities. And, so, I mean, because she commented about, you have supplies here and supplies there, so we might can do it where it's just under one general, like, EDC pays the bills, but the IDC puts in money to help pay those extra bills.
Well, it would put some of their money into play around here.
Yes, and they can use it for administrative costs. I mean, you can always use administrative costs, not just my salary, but they can use it for administrative, which is rent and stuff like that.
And computers and.
Well, do we, need a motion for the credit card?
Well, is it on the
Well, it's not
agenda?
on here, so I'm just saying that if y'all,
Okay, well,
we'll go ahead and finish it out.
yeah, go ahead.
And then on down to we haven't gotten any of our utility bills in for March. And Becky, like I said, she spent a lot of time on our books, because it was like 18 months that she had to do our books and the IDC. So she usually spends around charges $1,100 per group. And it used to be just kind of stuck in with the cities, but now she's doing more on ours. So that's why our audit is $850. The IDC will be paying $850 also. And then to help set us up with the QuickBooks and to teach us how to use it and make sure everything is right for her, it's going to be a total of $650, and that's split evenly between us and the IDC.
And what have you been using? If you're not on, you haven't been using QuickBooks?
Our pens and pencils.
QuickBooks is gonna be a good investment.
QuickBooks, I mean, everybody, the city uses it. I mean, it's just such a, and we've tried, I don't know anything whatsoever about QuickBooks, but she can set it up to where it will be beneficial to her when she gets those audit reports. Because normally what Stephanie and I have to do and what they've done in the past is you go through the checkbook for the last year and, okay, this is what we paid all the salaries. This is what we paid all the labor. This is what we paid all the utilities, and you have to add these up. So this will be
And
easy
you
to
can't
get that
just
report.
pull it from this?
No.
But
This is an
With
Excel.
QuickBooks.
With QuickBooks, you can pull up, say, what,
If you
Yeah.
where all
code
did we, how much did we pay on utilities? They
Right.
can split that.
You use it,
Yeah.
see, that's, I use it in my business.
And then her audit cost would go way down. 'cause
It
QuickBooks
should
makes
do a
so-
lot, or it shouldn't
Well,
have as
it
much
does,
time.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, she spent
Because
several,
it's there, you can I just plug a, what do you call those little
Flash-
things?
flash drive.
Flash drive in and carry it to Rogers, and I don't give them anything on paper.
cool.
Well, I do at the end of the year, like, 1099s and stuff, but.
Which reminds me,
Uh-oh.
Coming
I
up.
know
it's time.
Several years ago, when we went to QuickBooks in my business, Dale and I looked there and go, what in the world have we been thinking?
Yeah.
Why haven't we had this system all along? Because it just, I mean, you put it in there, everything, you payroll, you tax structure, the whole thing, and then when you just punch the right button.
You gotta enter it right, you
Yeah,
gotta
you gotta-
code it right.
And that's what Becky's gonna help
But you
us
gotta do
do.
that with paper.
Right.
You do.
But it figures your taxing rates, everything, you just, oh man, it's great.
So, anyway, so that's what we're going to do.
Get her done.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And that's all day tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, one other thing. And this is just something that came up, it's not on it. We talked about advertising and y'all kind of said no. There's an opportunity for us to get bottled water with our name on it through the chamber, EDC and IDC. We got to thinking if we could just put that on the bottle and split it between the chamber, EDC and IDC, we could all use it whenever needed it.
Well, we got the June day coming up, you know, that we could,
You know,
you get a case of water and there's 20, what'd I tell you?
I think there's 20 cases and, or 1,000, it's over like 1,000 bottles or
It's
something.
2,100 bottles.
2,100 bottles.
You get a whole pallet of it,
Mhm.
like that.
It's not the backside, it's just been flipped around.
And we
It's the
can-
right side here.
And we can sell it for $1 a bottle,
So if
and we
yeah,
get our money back, you know.
But we thought that would be
Times two.
something, instead of just putting our name, the EDC, IDC, and chamber, this is saying Aspermont, and tells us where we're at, what we're about, and so we're just asking if it's gonna be around 250 would be our share of
For
it.
how many?
She said it was over.
Yeah. I'll go
it's a
print that out
hotel,
right
I
quick
mean,
for they
it's a lot, 2,100 bottles, I think is what she said.
We store them where?
We'd be back here, we have plenty of room to store it, you know, and that's the other thing that's like, you know, the chamber will have their fun day in June, so they would have so much that they'd be accountable for, we'd have so much and so much. That way, you know, it's like if they use it, the money they sell it for $1, that goes back into their pot. If we use 100 bottles and we sell it for $100, that money goes back into our pot. But we just thought that would be, instead of just our name or something, have something like that, would be,
This says Aspermont.
it says Aspermont.
EDC, IDC, and
Chamber, yes.
Well, I can't imagine that we're gonna use much, the chamber would be able to use a lot.
Chamber would use a lot.
Oh, my
But like
God.
if we, like this workshop that we have in April that we're going to be sponsoring, if we just had those out to where, oh, well, that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, just say, you know, you have a bottle, you have a cooler, whatever, but I think that if we kind of make that into a logo for us, it'd be.
2,100 bottles in a pallet.
She's looking it up on the, that's what she said. I don't remember.
How much is the total cost?
The total cost is gonna be around $700, so it's $250 a piece, basically, a little less.
250.
So it's about 33 cents a bottle.
Yeah. EDC, IDC, and Chamber will split it, $250.
And
What'd you say, 30 cents a bottle?
33 cents a
With
bottle.
this logo on it?
Mhm.
I'd say do it, that's cheap water.
where do we have occasion outside of towns to use them? Do we?
Visitors come in, I mean, probably not a lot.
Yeah, probably not a lot, but it would be, I
But if
mean,
you're
that's
gonna
part of
keep
our
water-
advertisement,
If
yeah,
you're gonna keep water around, like, you know, Gary likes water,
yeah.
you know, he needs.
You know, people do come in, I mean, they come in for meetings, whatever, if we have a thing, you know, here's our bottle of water. Whether we sell it or not, it's an investment, in my opinion, an advertisement.
But the thing is, it's just as cheap as any, or cheaper than any water you can get, isn't it? At 30 cents a bottle, you're gonna pay what at the store?
1,440 bottles per pallet.
Per pallet.
They're around about 33 cents per bottle is what it rounds out to be.
$8 a case, well, we're getting this for like $2.50, you know, when they run sales at, you know, $5 a case.
We'll have the first time setup, you know, of course, like you do of anything.
So then after that, it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, we won't have to, like $125 would be cost for this, just to set this up. So we won't have to come with that every time, so that's $125.
So
That the guy
A
told me.
pallet of water is $480.
if, like the races, the lawnmower races, wanted to buy and sell out there where you're hitting other people besides Aspermont, we can let them.
I would
Well, we
think,
can sell it to them.
yeah.
That's what I said, yeah, we can,
33
Yeah,
cents.
I mean, you know.
To recoup our cost, but then they can sell it for $1,
or
yeah.
whatever.
to make some money.
And we'll have certain occasions that we'll probably give it away.
Well, we got
So,
our
but
4th
if
of
we can
July.
get enough
Yeah.
revenue off of it, just to pay us back for it, we're
Then we
good.
can do it again.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we do our 4th of July block party together, so that would be something we could maybe give it away with the hamburgers or something that we could, you know, like that, because we do that
That's
together.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
There's gonna be occasions where we're giving water.
Sounds good to me.
And I'm just trying to think where we can use it,
To get it out there,
to
yes
get it
ma'am.
out there.
Well,
Yes,
and the
ma'am.
thing of it is.
The
it's
June
like-
day, the fun day. will be
Whenever
really
I go
fun.
somewhere, I'll take, you know, and this could be our
There
new
you go.
motto.
Yeah.
You know, take it, you know, if we ever got koozies or whatever to put on, you know, bottles, we could have this. But I just think it's a need because it shows where we're at in the state, talks about us, gives us our, did y'all notice that this was mentioned, Double Mountain was mentioned in the paper the other day? In the society page, they always have these questions like how many mountains are in this area? And
Oh,
they
yeah.
mentioned Double Mountain.
Yeah, we were right at the tail
Right at
end,
the end,
but
but
that's
it-
still in the top
Yeah,
10, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Top
it was
10.
so mentioned.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I
Yeah.
think this,
I read
if
that.
y'all would, you know, that this is an idea that we've come up with.
Have you ever thought about getting beer with that logo on there?
Yeah, we have.
That would go
But
over.
we're too close to a church. Remember this is recorded, John Dane.
Double Mountain Buck.
There you go.
I'm more talking about making money now, I'm making money in water.
Maybe we need to talk to Brother Kirk on these wine
These
bottles.
wine bottles.
Yeah, wine.
If y'all go to Frontier, Texas, Stonewall County is in there a lot.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
They're-
Y'all need to go at night and see the flying buffalo, that's really cool.
It's really cool. I went year before last, because I was talking about something about the museum, and I went to talk to that curator guy, and his name's Jeff. He's a really nice guy, but I mean, I went through it and everything. It's got Cynthia and Parker in there, and it's all through there, and it's got parts where the trail goes through, you know, Stonewall County. It's very, very interesting.
They've got that thing closed right now.
No, they're open, they
They
reopened,
reopened
they
it?
reopened
I
it
think
last
they
week,
reopened it.
yes.
And they do have the flying buffalo,
Mhm.
when I was coming home the other night from Abilene, they have these metal buffaloes
They're
up in the
cool.
sky, and then they're lighted, and they're just, it's like, it's really cool. I'm
You're
sitting here at the
eating
red
it.
light, like, oh, that's so neat, so anyway, okay.
But yeah,
Have you looked at the sculpture right there on the right as you walk in?
mhm.
That's pretty neat.
It is, I mean, the whole thing, I was just all by myself, cause like I said, I went over there to talk to him, he was busy, so I took the little tour thing, and I was just really amazed how much close to home, a lot of it was. You know, I mean, close to Aspermont and Stonewall County, and so, yeah, it's, then, you know, listen, which I've read all the books of Cynthia and Parker's, I've been raised a Parker, you know, so, I mean, and Quanah Parker and all that stuff, it was just really, really interesting.
Okay, that's all I have on
Well,
the
back to our March expenses, and we were talking about the water and the advertisement under there. How do we wanna handle that, vote on it, what do we do? Approve it?
Just, I mean, it's kinda like if you give us a say, then we'll put it, I mean, we can list it under advertising, so, I mean, I don't really have to have, I
We
mean,
We can't vote, but we can come up with a general consensus that we back it on this thing, maybe they order it, then we
So we
approve
can
it.
just-
And then we approve the pay the bill.
Yeah, okay.
Or put it on next time
yeah,
agenda,
I'll put it on
yeah.
the next one, but anyway, but if that's okay, we'll go ahead and,
Okay.
you know.
We gotta fax this to this guy, he's a very nice guy, he's called me 2 or 3 times, so I think it's gonna be nice to work with
And
him.
where does the water come
The guy's out of Abilene.
He catches it down here.
Because the Sunny is
Yeah,
Abilene
it's
water.
large
and
out of
God
that
knows
overhead
that.
window.
No, he's not out of, where's he out of, Martha? It says, oh, no, that part's
This
on the,
side doesn't say it.
it's,
Kinda irritates me,
Well, they put on there
highest of
school
all the water, and
overnight
it's just
spray.
Abilene
That's
water.
it.
It's
Cool.
all by code.
Or they go back to the-
Nearly all bottled water comes from some.
It is Abilene, I'm sorry.
An RO unit or
Abilene.
something. Yeah.
Aqua custom labeling, I don't know where his water's from, but
Ask
he's
him
out
where
of
his water
Abilene.
comes from.
Like it
And if it's in Abilene, we don't wanna do
Even
it,
those
but if
that
you'll
you
get it from
don't
Lubbock,
see
you'll be okay, or
advertised.
Middle.
I know.
It's spring water that runs into a lake or reservoir, and then it pumps into the city system. But they can, but because of that, they can claim it's spring water. But that's good.
So where are we? We gotta pay the
Okay, we
bill.
got the bills. Y'all
We
approve
need
the
to
bills?
advertise
We
it.
need to have a motion on the bills.
Motion to pay the bills.
Do we have a second?
Well, second.
All in favor, raise your right hand.
You feel bad? Cause you're not talking.
No, besides killing
You
me.
look bad too.
Thank you, Leslie.
You're welcome. I want to help you on that. Audit report.
Okay, again, y'all got the hard copy from the city and then our deal. She had, and this is another thing, it's like our assets and some of the stuff like furniture and equipment, she was asking me on it, and that's on the first page of this. It might be in this book, your audit stuff. Some of this stuff, we don't even have, like a computer was in 1995, well, that's the one that Jimmy had and got replaced, and so, I mean, we had to put in our new computer and stuff like that, so, you know, a lot of this stuff we have, we don't have, she had to mark it off, so, she had to add on our variety store and the drugstore, so, just different things, but, I mean, we're still financially doing okay, but, anyway, we'll have a better understanding next year and all that kind of stuff.
And this, what she has, this contributed property, isn't it the same deal as that? Exactly what does that mean?
Where are you talking about?
Down at the
Very
bottom, on the
It's got
adjustment.
buildings and improvements is a figure, and then contributed property, the same figure. So I'm assuming it's the same thing, but exactly what does that mean? Does anybody know? Do you know, Mary?
Well, when we purchased this row of buildings, initially, we bought half of them were donated by, who donated? and then
Well,
we
Really?
paid.
Double Mountain gave us this.
Yeah, Alene,
On the hotel.
Alene donated her half and we paid the same amount, maybe this, I don't know, to build flowers.
Well, what was the dollar figure on this building when we closed?
I think she put 30,000 on this one.
But I don't think the dollar figure is that, it may have been that 28,65.
Oh,
Right.
this,
And I think,
On this
oh,
building.
that
And
here,
if-
see, we had
if
it
you
donated.
look at these
On
right
this, I
here,
guess that's probably what.
and I don't know, if like this says 9/30/12 is these figures, and this was, 2011. So I don't know if that was like at the beginning, and the end, I don't know, but I'll find out.
Now to think about it, I wanna think that this building here was appraised at about that 28.
She put us, our building
That-
here
That really
is
doesn't make any
30,000.
sense, you know.
But it
if
doesn't.
it's Buildings and improvement.
And then the contributed property, and it's the exact same figure, and that may be a coincidence,
Well,
but.
no,
I don't
I
believe
mean,
it's a
and the
I
coincidence.
bet it's a bookkeeping deal where you gotta have both.
And the next two items are the same way, under depreciation expense, that's the
Yeah.
same figure in that column as
Yeah.
in
And
the one.
accumulated
And that's why I
depreciation.
just
Yeah.
wonder if it's like she started it, if you look under, if it's still under the same type heading, the second figure is from September 2011, the first figure is,
That's
September
undoubtedly
2012.
a
So I don't know, but
bookkeeper
I'll find
measure
out.
that she uses to balance, but it just, I don't really quite understand.
I don't know, but I'll find out tomorrow.
Maybe that thing jumped a notch and it's supposed to be up now.
I don't know, but I'll ask her to
From
explain.
one time period to the other, it could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, I'll find
I
out.
don't know.
Well, I'm glad you have to figure it out. Thank you.
That's why we have an auditor and a.
Yeah.
And then the accounts receivable and all that kind of stuff is the second page, what we've had expenses and stuff. And then the third page is our notes and paid off and all that. And then, the last page is our sales tax.
Is she happy with the way that we're handling our loans and so forth? Does she get into that? Does she have any problems with this?
No. Well, she had questions off and on, and I tried to explain as much as I could, so. But as far, the other thing is, she has to account, some, the interest as income, but I don't see how we can count it as income because it has to go back into the revolving loan.
Well, it would be income though.
To go back in, so, that's the only thing is I had to figure that out.
So why are chosen Roland so expensive compared to these?
No, that's how much their rent, that's
That's what I
their payments, no, these are their
That's their
loan
loan
payments.
Oh,
These are their loan
loan.
payments.
okay.
Cause Roland had a whole lot of money.
He did?
Yeah, he borrowed that bottom figure under his is how much he borrowed off the pen. The Beauchamps is a deal after they filed bankruptcy and all that, and they did have an outstanding loan against it from us. And the agreement was $50, and then when their bankruptcy was finished, we got a notice saying that we had nothing to ask for, we could not give them money back. We wrote it off, had to write it off.
Does that mean we wrote off
45,000, about 46,000.
And did White ever have a loan? Did that get cleared up?
That was through the IDC. And it's kinda like for what she had left over, she gave to the building. Or they took over the building,
Which one is this?
the gym.
Oh.
I don't think we ever got it back for that little, the EDC ID, for the little store that highway filler,
Oh, the
and his wife.
County General, the general store, where Doug's used to be, I don't think so. They had something, but I don't think they got anything. I think there was almost a lawsuit or something, I've just seen the paperwork on that. A lot
When I
of it
first got home, they walked off with some, okay.
I looked around, see if there was a bird.
If they never bought
I've
it.
had that reaction
Mm.
several
We got that
times.
back.
We did get back.
Yeah.
Good.
Can we talk about this? Can we talk about
Everybody talking, you know,
Cause it's something Richard,
we need to have that
I mean,
fixed.
'cause it's,
I didn't know what was in the practice.
yeah, because it's open, I mean, it's public funds.
Okay.
Just wanna let y'all know about that.
Well, do we have to vote on accepting the audit?
Yeah, well, we do. And we have,
And this is
approve and accept the
final?
auditor's report.
Yes, for right now, yes.
For right now.
Well, through, you know, from what we've done for 2000 through the September 2012.
I move that we accept the audit report as presented.
Do I have a second on that?
Yeah.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Gary's getting it down, he got that right hand. I'm sorry.
We do any more times, he won't have there, did you get that?
I don't, you know, when somebody's sick, you start picking on them, you ought to feel sorry for them.
You just not around here. Not around here.
And they're too much fun to pick on.
Just can't pass up
You know, when they're down, why not kick them?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
a hurt
They don't have-
chicken.
They can't fight back very well.
Well, they can't hurt you as much.
You might sneeze on them, they'd do that either.
No, please don't do that.
Just call George then.
I still got a cough. Okay, next, office awning paint list and list address.
Okay, it's this awning in front of our building. It used to have double mountain coach. They did take it off, it just needs to be repainted, if we need to put a sign, if we just wanna put an address. But it's kinda like, Ken is willing to paint it, sand it, and paint it, and paint it black. It's kinda faded really bad.
Well, if we put a sign up there, would it have to be EDC, IDC chamber, or we just put
Yeah.
an address number up there?
You know, might be interesting, instead of having to put an address, or if we just can put Aspermont, because Aspermont would cover all of the titles, you know, and then we have our signs in the windows. I mean, that might, I just thought of that, but, or just leave it blank,
Or put a from up Stonewall County, Texas or something.
yeah. So, I mean, put something, but it's really grubby looking.
Yeah, I agree, we got to paint it, I just don't know how we put a sign up there designating everything
What
that's
we
in
are,
here.
right, I mean, so it might be that we just need to paint it. It'd look better if it's just painted anyway.
It needs painting.
It doesn't paint, right?
And then we could always put some letters up there if we wanted to.
Just put Aspermont offices. Then when they get closer, they'll see.
Right. So,
But
if we can just start with the paint, that would help. Do y'all have a X amount of dollars y'all wanna spend on that?
you want black or red?
Why don't we go back with the brown that's there, can we match that?
Is it brownish?
That color?
I'm just, you ought to be able to carry that piece of that Abilene, get them mix of paint and match.
Sure should.
Hey, wouldn't that be kinda like maintenance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would be like maintenance.
Do we need to vote on maintenance?
if I'm spending money, y'all do.
Okay.
We have to prove,
Because I mean-
we have to prove the money.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want y'all to come up and say, we can never tell y'all you have to spend that much money. Do you have a,
Well, you know, paint and just paint and laborers, I don't know, it's gonna be hard to put a figure on it, but it shouldn't be very
Just
expensive.
approve to have the awning painted, and then what it costs is what it costs.
It's gonna be at least 2
Okay.
gallons and.
Do I have a
brushes and
motion
rollers.
that we paint the awning, or,
I'll make a motion, we paint the front.
okay. Do we have a second on that?
Yeah.
Everybody in favor, raise your right hand. You know, I think he's starting to feel better.
He's starting to want this dang thing to be
We
over.
get back got him.
13.
Yeah.
We back got him
And,
kick-started.
and I'm gonna tell you something, you're gonna have to be quick if you beat him to
Yeah.
Okay, Pony Express, though, new door between the rooms, we've discussed that in open forum. didn't we?
Okay.
where are we talking
Let
about
me
putting
explain.
the
Okay.
door?
Right when you go in the front door, right there.
okay, here is their main place now where they go to, you come in. This is the new spot. in this area right here, and this is their kitchen, they want a door from the old office, their old entryway into this other spot, come into here, because what they wanna do is that old office in the middle, that was blue and all that kind of stuff, that's where they wanna put their cash register, their waiting area for pickup, stuff like that. And that way they can put more tables over here. They're gonna take out the
So that's
cash register and all that.
where you said was gonna be Dan's office over there.
Yeah.
In the new part, we just.
Yeah.
So
But
Dan got demoted again?
he got it, he still didn't get
But-
that office.
but Now they're wanting to be able to access that from
From the main.
the dining area.
area.
What they want, just permission to do it, right?
Yes, and they're
Okay.
gonna pay for it. They're
Okay.
going to do it. Said Harvey said he can do it and all that, but before, it's like, we cannot spend any more money on that building. We've done everything we can, in my opinion.
So what we need is a motion to approve.
You had it.
Yeah.
It's there.
Okay.
I move.
Okay, do we have a second?
Yeah, if they want to put a door.
Okay, everybody in favor?
I'm gonna abstain
Put
because
an
I
arch
wasn't
door
there.
too.
Okay, we'll.
Okay, all right, that works.
Okay, roof repair.
And that's on, we talked about Ken and Rusty trying to work on the road project, so we wanna let them go ahead and start working on that too.
So they'll do the sign.
They'll do the signs
And the roof.
and the roof.
Well, did we ever determine where the leaks were, or if we had leaks?
I think so, I think it's up against here, kind of, but nothing, I don't know.
Basically, all they can do is go down there and buy 5-gallon buckets of that old black,
Yeah, black or silicone something and put it all in.
mirror it up there, and the spots it looks thin.
Yeah.
They better get it done before Saturday.
It's supposed to rain.
That 60% chance of rain Saturday, it's coming. So,
Do we need a motion for the, I thought we've already done
I think
that.
we talked about it, but I just wanted to make sure that that was okay for them to continue on.
Fix
Okay.
it.
Fix it.
Yeah, I'd say, this patching needs to be
Okay.
done, we'd love to do it, and then if it gets to the point where they can't keep up.
Kinsey Pharmacy,
Okay, we have a gentleman came in the other day, and he's looking at buying a business and moving it here. I cannot tell you because he's looking for an office space.
secret.
It's a secret. Because it looks like the deal will go through by April 1st, but he just wants to make sure before everything gets out, he wants a place. He looked at, I offered to rent him the coffee room.
Here?
Yeah, because he just needs kind of a space for a computer and a copier and, just a place for a business. But it's gonna expand. Right now, that would get him through, but he'll have to expand a little bit. So I showed him the Kennedy Pharmacy. He said he would be willing to put up a wall for in the middle, like we did at the WKN. He said, because he has a carpenter, his brother-in-law or something, and he could do some stuff, he said he would be willing to do a lot. So, we still have some ceiling tiles we'll need to get down to old ones and put new ones up, do some work on it. Ken can come in and, it needs a new paint job for sure. He liked the windows, but then also showed him the chapel area. He said that would be good too. And Ken can put a window in that doorway. We need a new door for it. Because we haven't even opened the door because we're scared that once we open the door, it might not shut. So anyway, that's a possibility. And I told him, he said, I told him rent-wise, I said, we have our rent from 100 to 200. I said, we've also worked deals where if it's new business, we might cut a deal of, half price or something, we can work with them on the rent. He was very interested. He wants to be downtown. It would be the particular business that he's interested in. It would be very beneficial down here. Very beneficial.
The only thing about that, when you put a partition wall in there, say, the main room, what would you do with the back?
He would eventually use some of that for storage too, because he's going to eventually have to have some storage space. Nothing, not like the big heavy boxes or anything like that, but he will do.
There's just no, I don't guess is there a back door back there?
Yes, there is. Yeah, it's all the way back. However, we have got to do something about that electrical work in there. I had Terry Lex come through and look at it. It needs to be, he said there's one of two things, we can gut it, put everything, new wires. He said, that could be probably close to $30,000. The other option is shut off all the electricity cut it where nobody can be connected, because it is a mess. It's scary as all get out. But he could wire it to where you could have some stuff for here, you know, to get it by, to start off, and then he could come back in later and redo it.
Well, we don't wanna redo walls and build things if the electricity's not out.
I know. You know, that's the other thing, you know, it's to that point where it would be nice if we could completely gut it like we did WKN, the variety store. But that, we know that runs into big bucks.
Before we do anything, we're gonna have to know if this guy really wants it and what kind of his plans are before we can make a decision on what we wanna do over there.
If y'all would like to go into executive discussion, you know, we can discuss it in executive session, because this is, deals with land and property. We can do that. I don't mind telling y'all at that point, but I'm not going to tell if it's up to y'all.
I don't know what we need to do that now, because I don't think, we wouldn't know how to move forward with anything right now to begin with.
Okay, would y'all be willing though, if I call him and say, yes, y'all are willing to rent it, lease it to him, and then him come in and set up a meeting with us?
Well, I think not in that order. I think he'd come in and sit down and visit with us. We could get that in executive session probably. I don't think we could really go into executive session right now.
But we don't really have anything to make a decision
But,
about right now.
yes, we are interested in, you come in and sit down and visit with us.
Flesh
and let's get
this
your-
thing out
let's get
so
your
we kinda
plans.
know what we're dealing with, and if we've got something concrete, then go with it, but if we're just talking about possibilities, we can't commit to go spend a bunch of money.
On the other hand, if we ever wanna use that, it sounds like the electric has got to be.
Well, that may be
The
something we
electrical
have to
does.
do.
Whether
The thing
he
of it is,
does it or
We've
not.
gotta have a plan before we put electric.
Yeah, because
Right.
there's gonna be walls put in, there's gonna be plug-ins there and stuff, you know, if we don't have an idea of what we're doing, we really can't do
We're
much
wasting
anything,
our time.
other than cut the electricity off over there, for
That-
afraid he's gonna
that
burn
might ought to
the
be
thing
done
down.
And I do
anyway.
have the
That
electricity
defeats our
off.
purpose.
Do you?
I do
Yeah,
have it off.
it's not a problem until we start doing
I think that's something electrical. I mean, I'd love to see every one of these buildings full of something productive, somebody using all of them. And in order to get there, we're gonna have to spend some money. I mean,
That's
That's-
understood.
so,
And that's where we got to
We may need
figure out how to
to-
get some IDC money, maybe pay the expenses, so our money could be used to.
Well, is this a long, I'm trying to put you on the spot, is this a long-term deal? I mean, is this a forever deal?
Yes.
Is this a 2-year deal? I mean,
Mm.
if it's for a long-term deal, we may well spend the 30 grand
Yeah.
plus.
If we're
I mean,
looking like
I
down there
agree.
on.
I mean,
we need
we've
some-
got a 10, you
I'm
know.
living in here for 20 years. I mean,
whether it is or whether it isn't, if we're ever gonna do anything to that building, we're gonna have to
Exactly.
get the electrical fixed.
Well, if he's gonna
So
do
I
it
think
or
we need to
someone
get a
else.
solid figure from Terry, or put that out for bids. And, you know, and as long as he's got electrical scattered throughout that thing, we could get it wired.
Yeah.
It might need a little adjustment if he puts a petition in, but, I mean, things not doing a bit of good just sitting there empty.
where does the power for the heating and cooling come from on that building?
All over that.
That'll be it.
There's an air conditioner like right behind the pharmacy. I mean, it's
But
in a
that
little
one
spot.
air conditioner will cool that whole building, so if this guy petitions it all, he
That's-
does realize he's gonna have to pay.
Well, that's what, and that's what Terry was asking, does that air conditioning cool the chapel and the pharmacy? Because I think it did at one time, but see, there's also all sorts of crack
Ductwork?
stuff in the ceiling.
It's got duct, it's
It's
duct
got
in,
this type of stuff. It's got this type of a ceiling.
but is there ductwork in
There
there?
is, yes, because there are, round circles,
Round.
so it looks like there was, but I don't know how big that is. I mean, that's why it's almost like gutting it to the roof, to the crack.
Should Martha get us a bid on getting it rewired? Can we put out bids and, like we do?
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to put it in we put it in the paper, because, again, the only
No, I'm
electrical
sorry.
person we have around here is Terry. Because
Right.
I didn't have anybody here anymore.
And I don't know how we get around, if there's a way to get around, since he's the only one local, how does that work? We still have to put it up for bids?
We got some all electric right there.
Yeah, you do have to come all the way.
I say, I'm John, I think we're gonna get some bids on the sewer deals. I mean, that way you don't, if we're talking about $100,000 wiring job or a $30,000
Right.
wiring job.
Okay.
Cause we don't know what to say
Exactly.
on rent or anything else, or any kind of commitment till we know we've got to do this.
Right. And it
We
does
gotta
mean,
make it safe, and we gotta make it where you can plug.
And to keep a business
All
in
the-
mind as they do this, and this is an office, and so.
And there's no point in doing walls if you're gonna have to rip them out, rip them into, and
right.
bring the new wiring in, you know?
And probably it'll be like WKM where the conduit's gonna be on the outside,
That's
just
fine.
because they're all cement
Okay.
type of deal. The other thing is there's still some stuff in it. George will be coming up Friday. It's his last chance to get anything and everything that he wants out. He's had plenty of opportunity. What do y'all want us to do with the other stuff that might be left? There's some shelving. I mean, if we sell anything, we've kind of put some of the money back. It hadn't been not worth really we're selling. We're not gonna have Stephanie and I are not gonna go into that business of selling the garage sale, because we're not gonna do that again. But, I mean, is it, if anybody can use it, take it, use it, if not, chunk it?
Left, if it, I mean, does it have any real value to it, or is it just junk?
A lot of it junk. I mean, a lot of it is still the shelving in the back where they had all the medicines. Just,
Well, couldn't you, when and if it gets to that point, well, it will get to that point, but when it gets to that point, couldn't you just put a deal in the paper? Of course, it takes your time, you know, let them walk through, make an offer. I mean, I bet there's some value, wouldn't there be? People like always want shelving.
yeah, and they're good shelving. I mean, you know, some of that stuff that we had
Maybe just
together.
put a reasonable figure on shelves, and, I mean, I don't know. I just,
Oh,
as
absolutely.
much money as we're spending, I'd like to get a little out of it if we
Right.
can.
Okay,
So we can figure that out.
okay. All right.
Okay, we don't need a motion on that,
Yeah,
because we're
on
just.
the electrical bids,
Okay.
let's
Just to
make
get
sure they
bids.
understand it, not only wiring that building in, but leave spaces for wiring into potential partition walls and that sort of thing. So we need the breaker box would need to have additional spaces in it.
Right.
For
Right.
add-ons.
Okay. Alternate
Okay, the alternative energy grant through SECO, and Ronnie's already discussed his opinion of it.
Motion, we don't enter into it.
Okay.
Unless we've got some big project.
And the only other thing is that it's not, we would not be putting up, EDC would not be putting up any money that would be IDC money, because they could do it. The city was saying maybe they could, but again, they'd have to use the IDC money.
Well, they need to talk to people with experience, and sound like we have.
And the
some.
other
Well, we
thing
just have
was-
bad-
Gary and I have a real bad
bad
taste in
deal.
our mouth with SECO.
The guy came, he met with us, oh, this is a cakewalk.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna cost y'all 10%, we'll come in and put all these lights up.
It ended up costing us 100%.
It cost us all.
And more paperwork than you can believe, every month.
Oh, we don't mind the paperwork.
Oh,
Okay.
but anyway.
Well, we were looking at it on our end, on EDC's built site, as putting it in our building or on the hotel building, is where the turbines would be.
Well, I mean, you know,
And they're really
if
cute.
it was,
He's cute.
Will look like little spurs. My first impression of them.
well, when you look back at that $700 and something electric bill that we paid this month, you know, if we could actually get a 90% grant to put in some windmills that maybe even put a little electricity back in the system that we could get credit for.
I
Would
believe
be great,
Bradley's
but
got
I
low.
just,
No, he's out of
You
love
know-
with Amarillo.
I've just not had a good experience with these folks. Like I said, we ended up getting work, got approved for the grant. We got work done, and this is before I took office. Bobby had negotiated, and like you said, this guy come in and said, "Look," and helped write the grant and get the whole thing. And where we ran into problems is when we submitted for the reimbursement for their 90% of it. 5 times we were denied, and then I got a letter saying, when it ended, when the program ended, oh, we just don't understand why you didn't submit for reimbursement.
Yeah,
They
that just shows
they
they got.
denied us 5 times, and 2 of those times, my secretary sat in there for over an hour on the phone each time, talking to the lady that was denying us, and got her to go down step by step what she needed, and filled it in with her on the phone, and she still denied it. We did that twice. So,
Would y'all be
I don't-
interested
I don't
in
know-
being on our
I don't
building?
know how you
commission
deal with
as
it out
cost
there.
of funding?
Yeah. Well, did you ever
Put
get
it on,
reimbursed?
this building or the
No,
hotel
we got
building
that.
if it didn't cost
Not
the
that.
EDC anything.
And then
Kinda like
got
the
a
y'all
problem saying,
building,
we don't understand why you
What's
never
the
applied
cost
for
they
of it?
So
don't.
then we're gonna turn them into the better.
It's called, we'll see.
Voted.
Okay.
That's the
About that.
comptroller's office.
Well, they have till
State
April
comptroller.
first is when they do it, that's the thing, and then they get all this
That's where
done
that
on March
grant
fifteenth,
fund, those
that the
handled from
grant.
the state comptroller's office.
And this guy said he would write the.
I don't think they ever
So
intended
He's
to
at
pay
least
any
putting
small
something in.
Do we have to
projects,
put any money in up front?
No,
but they put it out there.
so he's writing the grant, and at that point, if we get it
Three
approved,
big wind
we'll go
towers.
from there.
They got grant, those are
There's no-
$200,000
Would that hurt
each.
anything?
Let's try that.
Cause Kent
I mean,
got
he's supposed to put in a
$20,000
grant.
each for the fund.
He's supposed to,
They
this
pay
guy,
off like slop
Kurt Duke, is
on that.
supposed to put
So
in
I'm
a,
thinking,
the
if
grant
you're gonna
right
apply
in
for that, go
too.
big or stay
then
out.
April first, we'll know if we get approved or not.
Okay, I will throw those in.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Like,
hurt.
Yeah,
like sure
ours
that Gary and Ronnie are
34,000
present when,
something
we meet
what our
with
grant was for, and that's what we
Yeah, they
paid.
like to have
And they
discussion with him.
supposed to
Yeah.
I
reimburse
tried to
us.
get him to go talk to Ronnie, and they couldn't do,
They
had to
kept
go to
denying our
Guthrie.
application. for
And this
reimbursement.
particular
Did it 5
company
times.
is the one that did, the
Like I said,
turbines at the
And it might
Jacob,
be a real good
the
deal,
school
it might go
and
through real well,
the
but
nursing.
They
home.
are,
But
you
you're
call
right.
Jake.
you gotta make decisions
No,
sometimes.
I'm trying to
and
call,
pass
they said they did
experiences,
something
not
at Panhandle or
pass
doing
experiences.
something at Panhandle,
But
Texas,
see, I got the
trying to get
same
hold of the
thing.
superintendent there.
Well, talk to Jake.
I hope it saw what it was.
Talk to Jake.
I don't wanna talk to
It
the
in the
judge,
trash can, so no,
but-
I don't
You
need
don't-
it.
you don't want to
It's
talk?
the county. Mr. Brown.
No, he's too cheery.
You pay for.
Let me tell you,
single
these
phone.
Panhandle people are too cheery. The
And the thing
superintendent
of
said,
it is,
hi!
being the comptroller's
Like,
office, it was an extensive
Well, that-
monthly.
Hello?
Yeah,
That
like
you
Gretchen.
got
here.
By the time we made the application.
Anyway,
until
so
the
they just
program,
are saying-
every month we had to plus
give
all
us
the other
permission
stuff.
to write the grant,
And they
submit
demanded
it.
that before.
They won't know
And it's just
April 1st is when
standard
they'll know.
deal.
It doesn't cost us
When they
any
send
money,
your
it's
reports
only
late, and then they threaten us
stipulation,
with,
you go for it.
by such and such
Okay.
state
Thank you.
statute, you're
We
required
need
to
a
make
motion.
these reports, now get them to
Well,
us.
I have a Gary and a John
Yet,
Taylor board.
they have never.
To,
got a
to
motion.
go ahead and go with the grant.
We got a motion, let's
It's
say,
easy.
okay, all for it.
He doesn't know, he doesn't know.
I don't have anything, I'm for it.
Ronnie, you just.
No, I knew what, I knew what it was.
John,
Okay, do I have a second on the adjournment motion?
Yes.
All in
I got
favor?
3 seconds.
Follow Gary.
Hang on, feel
It ain't
better.
just been us, it's been one.
Yeah,
But I got it.